For our next session, I'm proud to introduce Simon Clayden, Chief Operating Officer Technology for AXA. Simon specialises in the creation and execution of technology strategies that deliver real business transformation. He's been the driving force behind AXA UK tech shifts in the areas of data, customer contact and artificial intelligence. Simon will be speaking to you about intelligent automation and the workplace of the future. So if you have any questions for Simon, please enter them in the session Q&A on the right hand side, and after the session please click on the next agenda item to enter the live Q&A.
Hi everyone, I'm Simon Clayden, Chief Operating Officer for Technology at AXA UK. It's a pleasure to join you at ISG's Future Workplace Summit, albeit in unusual circumstances. I'm sure I'm not alone in not realising that the future workplace would involve your kids cutting your hair for you and spending most days awkwardly talking to camera in front of some of your Star Wars collection. A quick bit of context before I begin. AXA UK is made up of 4 business units: retail, commercial, health and Ireland. These businesses are federated and are supported by several transversal functions such as HR, finance, property and IT. We protect the lives and belongings of 10 million customers in the UK, served by just over 8,600 employees, 80% of whom work from one of 30 sites across the UK. But I'll come back to that stat a bit later. My role at AXA crosses business architecture and operational excellence, with a focus on ensuring that IT strategy, its processes and organisation are efficient and effective and meet the needs of our customers, both internal and external. For the past 18 months, part of my focus has been on establishing and embedding intelligent automation across our UK businesses. Harry, we name all of our robots, and her 158 siblings passed a massive milestone last month, completing their 1 millionth task. March was also their busiest month ever, completing around 6,200 tasks each day across our business units. I'm going to talk to you about what we're doing to transform our digital workplace at AXA, what's driving that transformation, what's our approach, and how automation is part of the solution. I'll also cover how COVID-19 is impacting our plans and making us think about its legacy in terms of the future workplace. I'll hopefully leave you with some useful hints and tips if your organisation is about to commence on a similar journey, and I believe we also have some time for Q&A through the magic of the internet. Our workplace is due a refresh. It's no longer able to meet the needs of our business, both in terms of hardware performance and reliability, and the features and products our users now expect. A more critical driver for change is that it's built on Windows 7, which is end of life and out of support. Not only is Microsoft no longer supporting Windows 7, unless you pay a premium for extended support, but third parties are increasingly incorporating features into their products that are only available in Windows 10, and Windows 7 devices are becoming increasingly hard to source. So while the user experience is important, when we began to consider our workplace transformation in 2019, the more pressing factors were technical debt remediation and risk reduction. One of our first steps was to talk with our businesses to understand their high-level requirements relating to the vision for the future workplace at AXA. How will people need to work? Where will they need to work? Some big meaty questions, but important ones. Otherwise we risk falling into the trap of IT having to build versatility into the solution, and that's a pretty expensive path to go down. From those conversations, we set out a small number of principles to stick to. 1. The workplace blueprint must align with both local and global business and IT strategies. 2. The platform must always be reliable and perform to expected standards, as well as be cost efficient to operate. 3. We must offer the same high quality, robust and secure experience regardless of endpoint or device. 4. We must offer our workforce an intuitive yet simple experience, whether working in co-located teams or virtually. 5. Most of our workforce must have the ability to work anywhere at any time. 6. the platform must be collaboration ready, allowing everyone to work with colleagues and partners effectively and securely. And 7, automation and self-service must be at the heart of the enrolment and ongoing support model. In terms of the target platform, let's consider its 3 core pillars: software, hardware, and infrastructure. For its users, the digital workplace relies on a Microsoft software stack, beginning with the Windows 10 operating system and the Windows Virtual Desktop. It's supported by the full Microsoft 365 productivity and collaboration suite. At the back end, we're introducing sophisticated monitoring tools and automation to enable us to move from an IT service and operations model that reacts to events to one that prevents the majority from even occurring. In terms of user hardware, most will use the latest generation of wireless, thin client endpoint devices, with smaller groups provided with more high-powered laptops where required. The digital workplace is entirely cloud-based using Microsoft Azure, meaning it can be tuned up or down based on demand, and you pay for what you consume. OneDrive and cloud storage remove the need for on-premise data storage solutions. In summary, the target solution is not device specific. It provides a single user experience regardless of whether it's virtual or physical, and supports a security and privacy first mindset, with security integrated at the application rather than the network layer. We started deployment in the second half of 2019 to 100 pilot users from across our businesses and a mix of both front and back office roles. This was an important step as it helped us work out any kinks with the product and the support model, as well as generating excellent word of mouth. The new workplace is universally seen as being revolutionary by the pilot users, and they've been instrumental in getting us to a point where people are asking when, not if or why, they will move on to it. We had a plan to phase the deployment gradually throughout 2020. Then COVID-19 happened. As an essential business, we were faced with ensuring our core customer service operations could continue while keeping our employees safe. This meant mass enablement of work from home through a combination of AXA managed devices and bring your own device. Across 3 weeks, we went from 80% of employees working in an office to 90% working from home. What was achieved in those 3 weeks was incredible. Our IT team sourced 3,500 new Surface Pro devices, configured them and shipped them to most people, most of whom were already isolating at home. We provisioned 1,500 remote access VPN tokens to allow people to access our systems securely via a personal device, and automation was pivotal here. Our intelligent automation COE built a robot in under 48 hours that was able to send an automated message to every recipient with instructions, then set up and issue each token, and finally issue a follow-up message to each recipient. On this scale, the robot completed what would have been a month's worth of effort in 1 week. While COVID-19 has presented us with many significant challenges, we have at least been able to ensure that our colleagues have access to the technology they need to enable them to continue to be there for our customers. And from a technology perspective, it would not have been possible without the foundations and experts we had in place for the digital workplace. If anything, it's highlighted that the strategy is sound, and the questions are not about whether the solution is fit for purpose, even if we retain a predominantly distributed workforce in the future, but more how its deployment can be accelerated. Let me wrap up with 5 key takeaways. 1. Take time to understand the target operating model, the nuances and the complexities of front office compared with back office, as well as where people will need to work from. You do not want to be faced with needing to build versatility into the solution to make it all things to all people. 2. Make sure the blueprint considers not only the technology, but also complementary functions such as HR and property. Design options and decisions need to be in sync across all 3. 3. The user experience is critical. Map out the journey, Joiners, movers, leavers, work requests, service and support, all of it. Understand the current barriers and pain points. 4. Use that learning to re-engineer processes before you build and deploy. Think about opportunities to automate where possible. For example, with most of our employees now working from home, the way that they accessed help and support when in an office is no longer suitable. We've created a chat-based bot to help employees self-serve things like password resets, and notifying absence and requesting holiday. 5. Take the opportunity to pilot the new workplace with a good cross-section of users. You can't underestimate what you'll learn from their feedback, and they will also be very vocal advocates, helping to create demand and enthusiasm. I hope that's been of interest and relevance to you. My contact details are on screen if you'd like to connect, and I think we now have some time for questions. Thank you.